What's up, guys? Thomas here from Trainfuly. In this video, I'm showing you a lower body resistance training progression, the frontal plane lunge. All right, guys, so in a previous video, I showed you the sagittal plane lunge and all of its progressions. This video is about the frontal plane lunge. So we're talking about different planes of motion here. So before I show you the exercise, I want to first show you what the planes of motion are so that we're all on the same page. All right, guys, so in biomechanics, we have three planes of motion. First, we have the sagittal plane. The sagittal plane bisects the body into left and right halves. Movements in the sagittal plane include flexion and extension. So for example, bicep curls, walking, running, and climbing stairs all occur in the sagittal plane. Then we have the frontal plane. The frontal plane bisects the body to create front and back halves. So movements in the frontal plane include abduction, adduction, lateral flexion, eversion, and inversion. So for example, lateral shoulder raises, side shuffling, and the frontal plane lunge that I'm showing you in this video all occur in the frontal plane. And then we have the transverse plane. The transverse plane bisects the body to create upper and lower halves. Movements in the transverse plane include internal rotation, external rotation, left and right spine rotation, horizontal adduction, and horizontal abduction. Many of the movement patterns that occur in golf occur in the transverse plane. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to do a transverse plane lunge as well. So now we got the biomechanics out of the way. Let's get on with the exercise. All right, so the muscles that we're targeting are the gluteus maximus and the gluteus medius. I'm going to show you the static frontal plane lunge first, then we'll progress to the dynamic frontal plane lunge, and then finally to the dynamic frontal plane lunge to balance. I want you to try to progress yourself over the next couple of days or weeks to the dynamic frontal plane lunge to balance. If you need help with this, feel free to reach out to me. All right, guys, so this is the static frontal plane lunge. So we'll start with our feet roughly under our shoulders, and then we'll take a half step in either direction so that we're about double shoulder width apart. Now from here, we'll go to the right side first. I just want you to sit back behind this right leg. So it looks like this. Okay. Now the form here is really important. Both feet, I want them to remain pointing straight ahead. So don't let them turn out. This left foot stays flat on the ground. Some people, when they do this, they'll have a tendency to let that foot roll over. Keep it flat on the ground. Keep your left knee straight. And on the right side, when you get to the bottom, I want your foot, ankle, knee, and hip all in a straight line. Okay, so it looks like this. And if you look, my foot, ankle, knee, and hip are all in alignment. And if you're to draw a line down the middle of my body, it looks like I'm squatting, right? So I'll show you a couple more here. And then from the side, I want your lower leg and your torso to remain parallel. So that looks like this. If you look at the lower leg and my torso, they remain roughly parallel. Okay. I want you to avoid an excessive forward lean. So I don't want you to do something like this or sit back too high and don't lean at all. We want lower leg and torso to remain parallel. Okay. Now, I want you to do 8 to 12 repetitions. We can do all one side and then the other, or we can alternate side to side. So that would look like this. And then the other side. All right, so now we have the dynamic frontal plane lunge. So before you progress to this, make sure that you can do the static frontal plane lunge really well. Okay, so with the dynamic frontal plane lunge, we're stepping out into that same position, but then stepping right back into the middle. And again, we could do all one side, or we can alternate side to side. We'll do 1 to 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions per side. All right, so now we have the dynamic frontal plane lunge to balance. And this is the exercise that I want you to try to work your way up to. So this is a very advanced exercise. So do make sure that before doing this one, you are really good at the dynamic frontal plane lunge. So we start in the same position, drop down to the side, push ourselves back up, and we balance here on this side for 3 seconds. So I want you to be in full control here. So now we're working the gluteus maximus and gluteus medius on the right side to push ourselves up, but then also on the left side to stabilize and balance. Okay. And same thing, 1 to 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions on each side. Now, of course, with this one, you'll have to do all one side and then all the other side. All right, guys. So you could also add weight to any version of the frontal plane lunge, either by holding onto dumbbells, kettlebells, maybe a light barbell across your back. Adding weight increases the resistance and will cause more of a strength adaptation. Now, if you're looking for a golf fitness program that is designed for the biomechanics and movement patterns of golf, you can find that over at trainfuly.com. Also, if you enjoy our videos, you'll enjoy our podcast as well. Check it out, the Trainfuly Golf Fitness Podcast. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.